Hi all, this is the second session of SQL Lab. In this session you learn how to write more advanced SQL queries. First you need to open database that we have. And start writing query in execute SQL in SQL Lite. First query is write a query in SQL to find all the information of providers who are nurses or doctors. Okay, this query says that needs all the information, so I write select everything. I use star for showing all the information from the table that I need is providers. Where type in vector and nurse. When you want to write a query, first you should know about your database. You can look at the tables and find the way to write this query. For example, here I need all the information of doctors and nurses, so in providers table, as you can see, there is a column that name is type. In this column show the type of providers, that is doctor, nurse or staff. I just need the information of doctor and nurses, so I should use the condition that shows doctor and nurse. So I use the keyword where, and that type is in this group, doctor and nurse. As you can see, just it is the information of just doctor and nurse. The second query says write a query in SQL to show the full name and phone numbers of patients who are not white or black. Okay, the next query I write is select. Okay, in this query doesn't need all the information, just the full name and phone. So I use F name, L name, that is last name, and patients where the condition is related to race, so where race not in white and black. Okay, this is the information. So consider about the groups that you need. You can use in or not in to find the information that is related to that group. The next one is write a query in SQL to list all prescriptions with a day's supply that is between 1 to 3 months. Okay, for this query I need to look at the tables. In medications I have this column that shows the days supply, so I write select I can say everything from medications where X I have here is days supply. I just click on it. Between 30 and between and is another keyword that you can use when you want to get the information between a range of numbers or value. The next one, write a query in SQL to find the patients who have an address in the database. Sometimes in database some records will be null, and we want to find the record that isn't null, so we can use another keyword that shows this information for us. Select name and address patients their address is not null. It means that all the patients enter or insert their address. Here all the address column is full and isn't any null value, but generally you can use it to find null or not null values. If you use null, you can see the record that is empty and doesn't have any value. The next query, list the number of patients in each race. Only include patients that have the insurance of BCBS and display the group that the count is greater than 5. So we need to write query for a table of patients. So I should write here select count patient ID and race patients where insure equal Okay, I think it's wrong. The query is let me another times write it. Okay, write a query to list the number of patients in each race. So I need to group by based on the race because the query asks me to have the count of patients in each race that the insurance is BCBS. So first I use count patient ID. For counting I use the unique value, that is patient ID, and race, and from patient's table the condition is insurance, and I should group by race group. And another condition that the questions ask me is that uh, uh, display the group that the count is greater than 5. So I run it. I have another problem. Patient ID with errors. Okay, patient ID. I have a problem here. Trace patients. Okay. Here I can see the count of patients that in each race have more than 5, greater than 5. If I remove this part and run it, as you can see, in each race I have different numbers 3, 3, 10 that have this insurance, but the question asks me display just the group that the count is greater than 5. So I can see that this race white that have more patients. You can change the name of count patient ID. Here you can say as next one, write a query in SQL to find the quantity of medicine that the patients should use that is greater than or equal or under 30. Okay, here I need the medications table, and this query wants ask me to display the medicine that the quantity is under 30, equal 30, and uh, greater than 30. It's just like a group based on 30. So here I write select med ID and another things that I need is description. Prescription and then the quantity is greater than 30. Just show me with a text that the quantity quantity is greater than 30, then x from indications. Okay, let's try it. And what happened? I think it has another comma here. What's wrong? I forgot to write n. Okay, I did. As you can see, I just displayed the prescription or medicine that the quantity is equal 30, under or greater than 20. It just classify the quantity based on the 30. And in this case you can use case and when for example, case when the value is greater than 30, you can show with this text the quantity is greater than 30. When is equal 30, then this text will show, and else is when we don't have any of these conditions. When you have some conditions like this query, you can use case when, and as a name you can say and as quantity, and in this column the name of header will quantity. The next one, write a query in SQL to find the count of patients who have visits on the date of 8th of February. Okay. First, if I consider about the count of patients who have visits on the I need the table of visits because the query asks me about the patients who have visits in a specific date. The date in this table is date of service, is this column. So I should use this table. Here I write select count patient ID I want to set a name for this patient count. date of service equal to okay. First, I need to make sure about the format of date in this table. As you can see, the format of date in this format: first year, month, and day. So for the query, I should write in this format. So okay, these two. Sometimes in the table there are some repetitive patient in table visits. For example, here if I want to say, for example, this patient have 2 visits, or sometimes it happened that there are 2 visits in one day. So it's better to use distinct to count unique patient in this state. And it's the same because we don't have any repetitive patient, but it can count unique patient ID in this day. Next one, write a query in SQL to find patients who should take 1 or 2 pills in a day. Okay, for this query I want to look at medications, because in this table get information about day supply, quantity, and something like this. So I need to find the answer from the medication. Select okay, say patient ID. Let's look at the questions. Here write a query in SQL to find patients. Okay, so it's enough to patient ID from medications where quantity and Rx. Or let's look at it. Find patients who should take 1 or 2 pills a day. Okay, 1 or 2. It means that in this table the quantity should be 60, and but the days supply can be 30 or 60. It means that this person take 1 per day or 2. Okay, that's fine. Okay, just the patient ID. I can add other things to it. Okay, it shows the patient and the days supply. In the next session, you can learn how to get the name of patient and the information and join the table of medications and the patients. But here I just show you how to use conditions and or these keywords to ask the query. The next one, write a query in SQL to find all the information of patients whose name starts with A. Okay, so here I need to select. Here I need to use the patients table. Select all the information from patients. The condition is where if I think let me it's going to find all the patients whose name starts with A, okay, or it's better to say the first name. Okay, in this query I need to have all the information, so I use the star here, select all the information from patients where first name, like this one. It means that the first word is A and other words can be anything. I use this sign that shows it can be everything, but the first word should be A, and you can see the result. The last query, write a query in SQL to find all the information of payments that their bill is between 300 to 500. So I write select everything from payments and their bill between 300 and 500. Okay, and the bill, yeah, is between 350, as you can see. That's it.